And welcome to the weekly moon update. My name is Allison. I am the self proclaimed priestess of Wonderland. And I'm so glad you took time out for yourself today to go down this moon rabbit hole that is the week of January 29th through February 4th. We made it through the first month of 2024. How are you feeling? We don't really have any community events coming up this week other than be sure to check out the Witching Hours podcast on Thursday, February 1st. I'm not able to be there this month, but I did send them a video talking about the moon energy for the month of February. So the new schedule should be coming out sometime this week, but it doesn't affect anything until the first event is February 5th, which we'll talk about on the next weekly moon update. So let's jump into the energy for the week of January 29th through February 4th. Okay, so I hope you guys had a wonderful, bright, confident, encouraging Leo full moon last week. So that means that we are starting this week with a waning gibbous moon. Gibbous means the moon is more than half lit, and waning means that it is decreasing. So it's decreasing in light and decreasing in energy. But as you can see, a waning gibbous is still a lot of light and still a lot of energy. So we can start slowing down, but if you've got energy, like use it. And we'll have a last quarter week on Friday. That the last quarter is when the moon is half lit, but personally, for me, how I look at it as being half empty. I look at the first quarter as being half full because it's increasing, and I looked at the last quarter as being half empty because it is decreasing. And we've got a last quarter in Scorpio moon, so we've got some like watery, emotional, cleansing, clearing, dark and mysterious energy. And then after the last quarter, we have the waning crescent. So that's when you start to see more dark on the right side of the moon, and slowly this little sliver over here is going to be decreasing until we have our new moon next week. So I wanted to point something out on the Justiphase moon planner. As you can see, we have the sign of Virgo right here on the left side of the moon. And then we don't have a moon sign here. And then we have Libra over here. That is because on Monday evening at 6:19 p.m., the moon starts transitioning into Libra, but it won't transition into that sign until Tuesday at 3:04 a.m. So if you ever see a gap on of the moon phases right here, it's because the void of course, or this is the transition time. So like if it had changed into Libra Monday night, I would have the Libra sign right there. So that means pretty much for the majority of Monday, we're going to be in the sign of Virgo. Virgo season is as we are transitioning from summer to fall. So it helps us get everything organized. Hopefully something was illuminated for you on the Leo new moon. And Virgo comes in behind Leo and helps us like figure things out. Like Leo's like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And Virgo's like, okay, well, let's make a list. Let's put it on the calendar. Let's schedule these things out. Let's organize. And with a waning moon, you can really focus on like decluttering because a waning moon is for releasing and letting go. So Leo has these grand, dramatic things that they want to do. And then Virgo's a little bit more practical and is like, okay, if you really want to do that, then we have to do X, Y, and Z. And specifically with a Virgo waning moon, it can really be helpful to say, okay, let's make room for this thing that we want to be calling in next month. So that's like clearing out your closets, clearing out the clutter. I still haven't put my Christmas decorations away. Every time I go to do it, it's raining and I can't take down the lights outside. I should have done it yesterday. It was clear and it was warm, but I just didn't have time. And now it's raining. So this is, clearing out the closets, throwing things away that instead of having a pile of stuff that you need to fix, get rid of it. How long has it been sitting there? Because when we make room for things, when we clear out everything, it means that we can bring in more. So I love starting off a Monday with Virgo energy, and like I said, we'll be in that energy until around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you're on the West Coast, you have a little bit more time. And then we move into Libra. So after Virgo has kind of cleared things up, and if you're like me, whenever I do clearing of clutter or deep cleaning or anything or reorganizing, everything looks like a tornado before it actually comes into alignment and organization and balance. So that's what's beautiful about Libra coming right after Virgo is that after you've like cleared out all the shit and now you can start to like put things in their place and put things in their like where they're supposed to be, even things out, balance things out. I feel like I talk about Libra a lot. Libra is like the time that, and if I've been neglecting something that I want to keep in my life, Libra is the time to put energy towards it. Like if you've been avoiding something, if you've been neglecting something, including self-care, a lot of us it's we are just like busy and going all the time. Libra could be your rest day. And if you do a rest day on Cancer days and a Libra day, then you're resting for at least 2 days a month. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't do that, myself included. So Libra's the day to be doing the thing that you've been neglecting. On the other hand, if you have been lazy and procrastinating and putting things off, then Libra is the day to get structured and organized and get it done. Like finally take that time and the energy to do the thing that you've been neglecting. And it's just really beautiful energy from transitioning from Virgo to Libra. It's it really helps you like make sense of things, bring order to things, bring balance to things, which inevitably brings peace. Okay, so we'll be in Libra all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday until 4:04 a.m. on Thursday. And then we will technically move into Scorpio at 3:37 p.m. Thursday. So there is like quite a long transition time here. So this is almost 12 hours, 11 hours where the moon is transitioning here. And I really like to point out the void of course times so that you could see like, do you feel a difference? Do you feel a difference between the Libra air energy and the water Scorpio energy? Or do you feel like an absence of it? Are you like, were you really feeling the Libra peace balance energy on Wednesday, and then all of a sudden Thursday just feels like, "What happened? What happened to that peace?" Like so Scorpio energy, last quarter energy. Once the moon is last quarter, especially a last quarter Scorpio water moon, I'm just like, I'm peacing out. I'm not trying to get anything done. I'm not trying to like use a lot of energy, spend a lot of energy. And personally, I've been doing I mean, it's still winter, it's technically winter no matter what temperature it is for you outside. It's technically still winter, still kind of deep in this shadow work energy, and, there's a lot of energy going on in the world right now. There's a lot of chaotic energy, there's a lot of really traumatic and sad and difficult energy to deal with right now. So let yourself be dark and weird and strange and unusual on a Scorpio day. Let yourself cry. I've been trying to make a habit of sending love to different areas of the country that are experiencing huge traumatic, unfathomable, like can't even imagine what they're going through right now. So I've just been trying to send love wherever I can. And what you'll notice when you start doing that is that you'll start to feel love come back to you. Oh, interesting. That kind of relates to one of the cards that we got, the same card that we always get in this chakra deck. Um, interesting. So maybe I'll talk about that when we get that card. So okay, so Scorpio last quarter energy Friday and all day Saturday. The moon will technically move into Sagittarius early Sunday morning at 1:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can't see it; it's off the screen there. So I don't know. Maybe let yourself feel your feelings on Friday and Saturday, and then the beautiful thing about the moon transitioning signs is that Sagittarius is going to light that fire again. It's going to give you that spark and inspiration to keep going. Okay, like we had some dark times. We shed some tears. We went into a deep dark place, but then you found the light. That's how you find the light, and that's how you pick yourself back up again. All right, so let's look at the week elementally. We're starting off Virgo, Earth. Get your to-do list out, get your planner out. And speaking of that, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you the moon meeting for the next moon cycle is scheduled for February 5th. I just haven't scheduled or haven't made that announcement yet. So uh on Monday, still get your planner out, get your schedule out, get your to-do list out. Reflect back on your new moon intentions from last month. Reflect back on your year intentions. Like how are they working out so far? We've already been in the year for a month. How's it going? What's going on? Do you need to adjust anything? Let Tap into Virgo energy when the moon's in Virgo. Like it's available to us. I've even noticed that like I'm really grumpy if I'm not in alignment or in sync. Like for example, like if I was like really lazy on Monday instead of getting things organized and getting things done, I noticed that I'm just like I feel frustrated and I kind of get angry and I'm like, what's going on? And then if I just like sit down and make a list of to do, it's like Virgo is satisfied and they're like, thank you. Now you can go about your business. And then I feel better. It's the strangest thing. So you have access to this energy. The moon relates to how we feel. So pick something on Monday that you admire about Virgo or Earth energy and do that. Maybe take some time to actually put your feet on the ground and connect to the earth and or put your hand on a tree or meditate with some crystals, tap into some sort of earth energy on Monday. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, this is the air element. So it helps us, number one, breathe. Take like I hold my breath a lot, and that causes a lot of restriction in my shoulders and my abdomen. So be conscious and take time out on Tuesday and Wednesday to make sure that you're breathing, even if that's just like 3 deep breaths, somewhere throughout your day. You will really notice a difference of just being calm and present and feeling balanced, like the Libra sign represents. Then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this is the water element, and this is where we can allow ourselves to be a little bit more in flow. We can allow ourselves to be a little bit more emotional. It's the weekend. Hopefully, you don't have to put on that mask for work or hide in the bathroom cubicle crying. You can just cry out loud wherever you are. Hopefully, if you're at home on the weekend. But you can see the different energy from the structure that Virgo and Earth energy gives us to this like more movement, but like ease of movement with water energy. Water energy is very easy and flow. It can be very powerful and strong, but like when we're in alignment with it, it's that ease and flow that comes along with it. And then Sunday we're gonna light our fires a little bit. We're gonna feel inspired. We're gonna start thinking about the upcoming moon cycle. We're gonna be finding direction. We're gonna be finding like what does light us up, what does motivate us to keep going through the rest of this moon cycle and the rest of 2024. So, our card for the week is Shine Bright Like a Candle. You will make it through this. And this is from Alice the Wonderland Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. And who's the artist? Jasmine Beckett Griffith. For it might end, you know, said Alice to herself. In my going out altogether like a candle? I wonder what I should be like then. So this is a quote from Alice in Wonderland where she's worried about drinking the potion to make her smaller. She's worried that like, what if I just go out like a candle? And it's really interesting that this card is in the Oracle deck because the tarot in Wonderland that I have, the death card, is this scene that this quote is from. And the death card in that deck is depicted as blowing out a candle, as if you're like ending something, you're completing something. So you are changing, and all about you, everything seems unfamiliar. You are changing so much that you may be wondering if you will make it through this change. I can relate to that. You may, like Alice, be thinking that if things keep going the way that they are, that you could go out like a candle and end altogether. But Alice does not cease to exist simply because she is in an unpredictable situation, and nor will you. You have a bright and glorious light within you that will shine through all the changes in your life, through every opportunity and perfect decision. It will shine despite the mistakes and the hurts you may experience, and the brightness within you is eternal and cannot be put out so easily. So despite the times when you fear the darkness lies ahead, know that the guiding light you seek is inside of you. When you receive this card, know that no matter how difficult or strange things seem to be, and no matter how much your life is altering, that you are a bright and shining soul, and you will continue to shine for a long time to come. Yes, you may wonder what will become of you, but do not torture yourself in the unnecessary worries or contemplate disasters. It is natural to feel a little anxious and to prepare for the worst, but trust this card. Your light has a long time yet to shine in this world, and it will only grow brighter as your soul continues its marvelous journey through the wonderland of existence. So, the divination of this card, it says, your divine light is strong. You are radiant, endurance, resilience, making it through a trying time, hopeful future, wondering about life and death, contemplating the purpose of your existence and connections with the afterlife. So I can certainly relate to what this card is speaking to, and I do feel like it's very reflective of the full moon in Leo that we just had, because Leo wants you to shine your light bright, wants to shine the spotlight on you, and encourages you to put yourself out there and to be the light and to be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's like all I'm trying to like scream from the rooftops with this channel. I also think it's beautiful that the artist depicted it as the Starry Night, the Van Gogh painting, which is literally lights in the night sky. And like every person in this community, every person watching this video is a light. We're all these shining stars and these beacons. Like, hey, look at me over here. I'm shining my light. I believe in you. And sometimes our light is going to dim and sometimes it's going to feel like it's going to go out. But just like the moon teaches us that it's okay. Like the moon goes dark every month. And I feel like I should maybe even put a warning in the Just a Phase Moon Planner that when you start getting into flow with your own natural rhythm and with the moon's rhythm, you are going to have those ebbs and flows. And I guess like the thing that makes it easier is that it's not as long and it's not as deep and it's not as dark. It's more like gradual and like the wave kind of goes like this instead of like up and down, which is kind of how I was living my life before I started trying to get in sync with my own natural rhythm and with the moon cycle. Is I would have dark periods for like months on end. Whereas now it's like the few days that I have my menstrual cycle, or a it's when the moon is dark. Like, it's shorter periods of time, and the highs are even more high than they were back then when I was having, like, months, even I've had years that were very dark times for me, and now that I've been, like, trying for so long and so hard to just, like, allow myself to be in that space, because I think the problem is that we fight it. When you're in that dark space, you're fighting yourself. So you're just kicking yourself while you're down, and that's why it's that much more difficult to, like, pull yourself out of that dark place and pull yourself out of the cave, I guess, and it really does feel like your light is out. It feels like you have no light. It feels like you have no energy. It feels like you have no motivation, and I'm not trying to make light of this, like, I've recently gone through a dark place, like, recently, like, yesterday, and I'm just like, yesterday, I was like, I c like, I can't go on I can't go on like this anymore, like, what do I do? How do I change? And I just gave up. I just surrendered, and I just let myself sleep longer. I let myself just be. I tried to meditate. I tried to drink lots of water and, like, push this negative energy through me. I journaled and tried to process things, pulled tarot cards and tried to get inspired and motivated, and I there's no, like, one thing that pulls you out of that. It's just, I think, the process of allowing it and surrendering and just letting it be, and then coming out of the other side somehow, some way, somehow, nobody knows. So, I can really relate to this card if anybody out there is struggling and having a hard time, and like I was saying with the last quarter Scorpio moon, and sending love gets you love back by taking time to feel the madness that is going on in this world instead of avoiding it, instead of because when you avoid it, that's when you feel guilty. So now you're feeling the sadness and the grief and the hurt and the loss and the pain that the rest of the world is going through, and now you're feeling guilty on top of that. And the more you look away, the more guilty you're gonna feel, and the more and you're just it's hard to get out of that hole. But if you take a few moments to breathe on the Libra day, and Libra is the sign that is associated with the planet Venus. So take some time to breathe, just take 3 deep breaths and send love out to the world. You will feel and receive that love come back to you. If we're just feeling the hurt and the pain and the guilt and the wallowing, that's all that's gonna come back. Like attracts like. Shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. So that brings me to this card, Unlimited Prosperity. Money is energy, and we hold a precious choice, whether to prevent or encourage its flow. Are your channels for giving and receiving open wide enough? Do you allow the vibration of prosperity to radiate both from you and towards you? Reflect on your resources and how you can use them to create more abundance for both yourself and those around you. Remember also to give back with an open heart for all that is coming your way. Give thanks before you receive. This is a solar plexus chakra card. The crystal is yellow fluorite and the herb is basil. So, this is one of the cards that comes up more frequently than any other. I almost have it memorized because I've read it so many times in on these moon day videos, in private readings, in my own personal life it comes up. And this is exactly what I'm saying about if all you're thinking about is negative energy and I'm not okay and how am I going to get through this? I'm never going to like how can we everything just piles on, then that's all you're going to start thinking about. But if you just stop and find at least one thing that you are grateful for, one thing that you're happy for, even if it's just that 3 deep breaths that you're allowing yourself in that moment. I'm so grateful to just have this second of pause and this second of peace and this second of breath. Then you can start there. And then you can find, once you are grateful for that breath, you can find another thing and another thing and another thing. Just keep following that trail of positive energy, and you will find that you can lead yourself out of the cave, out of the darkness, and out of the tunnel. I've been there, I've done that, and it sucks, but you can do it. If I can do it, if I can do it, you can do it for sure. And so this card says prosperity. We always think of money when we're talking about that. When you restrict yourself because finances are tight, and we are all stressing about finances right now. Every single person on the planet is stressing about finances, and you're thinking, "Oh, I can't buy that because I don't have enough money." If you're constantly telling yourself that, you're never going to have enough money to buy that thing. So, flip that phrase, change it a little bit to something that works for you. But the thing that switches me out of that, like, I don't have enough money to buy this, is like everything's right on track. I've got money coming towards me. It's coming one of these days. I'm waiting for it. I'm doing all the things. I'm always like, I'm right on track. I'm right on the right path. I'm experiencing this for a reason. So find something that like works for you. It's always different for me because, we get grumpy when we can't buy the pretty shiny things that we want to buy. It's the 4 of Pentacle card. If you're holding on to all that money, then how are you gonna give or get any back? So loosen your grip, like we're talking about with this last quarter Scorpio moon, like go with the flow, let go. It's out of your control. So much is out of our control. You can only control you and how you're feeling. And if I can tap into the moon's energy and say, "Hey, Libra moon, can I have a little bit of that love? Can I have a breath of fresh air, please, Libra moon?" Then that's my focus for Tuesday and Wednesday. And lastly, Skolosite is a Synergy 12 Ascension Stone that embodies universal consciousness and channels inner wisdom and spiritual guidance. It activates the soul star chakra, facilitates deep lineage and ancestral healing, and brings a flow of light energy. Skolosite also restores peace and helps with accurate dream interpretation. The affirmation is, "I seek higher wisdom and connection. My guides are with me, bringing healing to me and my lineage." I feel like this crystal wanting to work with us this week is a reminder that even if you're in the darkness, even if you're feeling alone, you're never alone. There's always somebody there. There's always somebody in one of our Discord communities within the spiritual community, but your guides are always there. Reach out to the human people in Discord if you can, if you want to. And I had to do that last week. I was like, I'm not doing too good today. And I just needed to like put it out there because I didn't want to hold it on my own anymore. And I got beautiful responses from this wonderful community that just brought a smile to my face. And like one smile can change your day in infinite ways. I also love that this crystal came up because it mentions ancestral healing, and I think that we are all doing that right now on this planet, and they are always there too. You can call on them, and I think it's really important to just remember that just because Halloween's gone, and just because fall is gone, and just because shadow season isn't here anymore, it doesn't mean that you can't connect with your ancestors and your spirit team on a daily basis. I'm always calling out to them. I'm always calling out to the angels. They're always there, and you always feel their presence. Angels especially, I don't know if it just feels stronger to me, this, like, unconditional love energy. So I don't know. I hope that, everybody else is not, struggling as much as I was last week, but if you are, you're not alone. And, I really felt the motivation and the encouragement and the inspiration on the Leo full moon, And I think that the cards for this week are just encouraging us to like continue with that light, continue to keep that light going, to kindle it and feed it and to give it what it wants, which is your enthusiasm and your motivation and the work. We got to do the work. We can't just dream it. We can't just think it. We can't just write it down. We've got to actually take the physical actions to manifest the things that are in our dreams. And I believe that you can do it. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for hanging out with me for the weekly moon update. Can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass. Have a wonderful week. Check the schedules channel, and I usually have it pinned there. I just heard a loud crash. What's going on over here, guys? Excuse me, madam. Odin, I love how you like stood on the outskirts until it was time for me to come clean it up, and you made sure you came to get some.